Hello again, rock stars. Today we are going to do a fret polish on Kirk, which is a guitar I'm trying to swap pickups out in, but I ended up running into an issue with the mounting rings. So, filming the intro, same as the other one, filming the intro after the fact. That's why I'm still wearing the same shirt. Um, but yeah, that part went off without a hitch. I gave you guys some, I think, some pretty solid advice throughout. Keep in mind two things. Number one, I am not affiliated with anyone. I don't, so StewMac doesn't pay me or whatever other tools I have over there. I don't really even remember now, like brand wise. Nobody pays me. Like I do this all on my own. And then number two, I am not a luthier. I will never say that I'm a luthier. I have not been to school to be a nothing, none of that. Right? I haven't been to a workshop. I just, I got tired of paying other people my hard-earned cash to do things that I could figure out how to do myself. So that's why one of the reasons I wanted to create this channel was to, hey, let's do those kinds of things. Let me show you how to do setups on different kinds of guitars because they're not all the same. Let me show you how to polish frets. Let me show you how to swap pickups. We're going to get into painting and stuff like that eventually. Matter of fact, I already got one that's peeling because of something I did years and years and years ago. So we're going to go through that. I'm going to show you how to paint guitars. So we're going to do a little bit of everything. But in this particular case today, right, we're just going to polish some frets and clean a fretboard, a rosewood fretboard, make it look nice and pretty. But yeah, let's kick it.
What's up, guys? Your buddy DA here again. If you're following along with this little project I got going on, this is Kirk. If you're unaware, we're putting pickups in it, but I have a broken mounting ring. So while I'm waiting for the other mounting ring to show up, I figured I'd just go ahead and continue on, because once we do the pickups, finish doing the pickups, we have to restring it to a setup all like that. So what I like to do when I do a string change, I go through everything, I make sure everything's tight, I make sure I clean the body up, because this is your only time really that you're able to do that, and actually like get underneath the pickups and everything without, I mean, you could push a rag or a paper towel whatever through there, but this is the time to do it where, everything's off, and so you can make sure to get it really nice and pretty. And while we're doing that, I like to clean the fretboard. If I have a rosewood fretboard, I'll use some kind of fretboard conditioner or something on it, as well as a cleaner, and then I'll polish the frets. I do this every string change. Keep in mind, I've got like 14 guitars, so as I'm doing this, I really only change strings like arguably once a year, right? Because I go through, I play a guitar for a week, and then I put it up, and I grab the next one, and so on and so forth, right? So I really end up only playing a guitar for like maybe 3 weeks before I change strings on it. So when you have that many guitars, that's what it kind of equals out to, roughly. So if you're doing this, I say all that to say, if you're doing string changes like every couple weeks or once a month or whatever, you're probably not going to have to go through this kind of extent. But I would say you want to do this at least like once a year, where you polish the frets, you clean the fretboard, all like that. If you've got a maple fretboard or a Paul Ferro, ebony, you got to do this with too. But Paul Ferro or maple, you don't have to. You just want to clean it. You don't need to oil it or anything like that. But you still want to clean polish your frets. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna do a quick little video. We're gonna polish up the frets, and then we're gonna clean the fretboard, and then we're gonna let it sit. All right. So there's a couple different ways to do this. I'm gonna go ahead and turn me off because you don't really need to see me for this. So I'm gonna tell you, I did this way for a long time before I got like nicer stuff like fretboard erasers and micro pads. These are from StewMac, all of it. By the way, StewMac doesn't pay me. They can if they want, but they don't. So the easier way to do this, that's along the cheaper line, for lack of a better term, right, is get you some steel wool. This is, I can't remember if this is triple aught or quadruple aught, so 3 zeros or 4 zeros. Maybe get both. You definitely, if you're going to use this stuff, you want to tape off all the wood. Even I would even run a bead. Sorry, let's go this side. A bead along the outside, just to make sure, you know, in case you accidentally like scrape off or something, because you don't want to leave scratches in your wood or in your paint on the outsides. So if you're going to use steel wool, definitely tape it off. If you're using the fret erasers, not so much, because I mean, you know, they're not really going to gash into the wood or anything. If you try to do it like this, you know, maybe, you know, you may leave a little bit of a mark. That's why, I mean, I don't do that. I'm only really concerned about the very top, and, you know, if we're looking at it like here's the outside of the, here's the outside of the fret, right, on either side. I'm only really looking to get about that much of it. So the very top, and then maybe just a little bit down on the sides, if you can see that, right? So using the fretboard eraser, these things are great because you could just put it right across and then just go back and forth. You don't really need to use like your covers or anything. I did buy some of these this last time. They're okay. They work good. I mean, they do the job. That's not my preference. I prefer not to use these. I think I would rather just tape the thing off. But yeah, if you're going to do the steel wool, just tape. It's easier, to be honest with you, just to tape off the whole fretboard, minus your fret wire itself. Leave your fret wire out. I have also done it where I just have like 2 pieces of tape on either side. You know, I do a fret, move it, do a fret, and it just, you don't save yourself any time. It's really about the same time either way, but it feels faster. Yes, it's tedious to have to tape off the whole fretboard. It's a pain, but after that, I mean, then you could just polish. You know, you don't have to sit there and like move tape and everything, stop your progress to move the tape. So I would recommend just taping off the whole thing and then coming back and then just hit the frets. You know, it seems like a lot of work up front just to do something a lot quicker at that point, but just trust me, it feels better. If you're going to do the erasers, kind of the same thing, or the micro pads. In this case, I'm going to use these little, you know, cover things, I think. What you're really looking for here is the feel. Like, this feels very different than this. This doesn't feel bad because, of course, I mean, you know, like I said, I do this once a year. If you go several years without doing this, then it's going to feel very different. You know what I mean? Go to your local guitar store, preferably a bigger one that's got a lot of used gear, and just grab a couple off the wall that look like they're a bit older and try doing bends on them. And you're going to feel what I mean. It feels gritty. And that's because, you know, the fretboard needs to be clean and the frets need to be polished. So if you're doing bends and you feel like, you know, that, you know, that's what it is. Gotta love sound effects, right? All right. So what I did, that's why I kind of prefer just to kind of video it. But, you know, I did that once before. It ended up being like an hour-long video to do a setup, and no one's going to watch that. I need to be realistic. But I just ran through each one, right? So I do this, and then I'll hit the sides, right? And then just keep running down the line. Once I get the biggest one I have of the fret erasers is 8,000. You probably can't see that. It's kind of dirty. So then I grab this guy, which is a 12,000. And then just finish off the polish, right? Gets that nice mirror shine. But like I said, you could also use the steel wool. It's just if you do that, you're definitely going to want to put some kind of protector over there. All right. So yeah, that's how you do it. All right, I'm just going to run through this, kind of show you guys what's the point in a video if all I'm doing is talking. So I'll do this. This is with the 220 grit. Just several times, several passes over, right? And then I'll hit with an angle, flip it this way, hit with an angle, all right, and then just keep running down the line. It doesn't take much as long as you stay on top of it and you keep your frets pretty clean. you know, 5 or 6 passes or whatever, and she's pretty clean and ready to go on to the next one. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna keep finishing these, and I'll be back. Me again. You know, as I'm sitting here doing this, it occurred to me I didn't tell you guys really what to use to tape it off. So you probably just, oh, buy Scotch tape or whatever. So what you want to get is some painter's tape, and what I would honestly recommend is there is a kit you can buy on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it other places too, but basically it's a kind of an all-inclusive kit. So it's a paint. It gives you differing paint tape thicknesses. So that way you can get down to these lower frets, because otherwise it does get kind of a pain if you buy, like, let's say, I'd say probably the average most people buy is probably like 1/2 inch or, you know, between 1/2 and 3/4 inch or something like that in width, and that gets kind of difficult to get down here. You end up having to like do that tape moving thing that I was talking about earlier. But if you buy that kit, you know, it gets down to, I think, like a 1/16 of an inch or a 30. Oh no, not it gets 30 seconds. So yeah, I think it's 1/16 of an inch, and then I mean, you can really get in there. So that makes it so you can really tape those frets off. That was all. Something else I forgot to mention: if you're going to use the steel wool, tape off your pickups. Because as you get closer down, you're going to imagine every time you shake, also probably wear safety glasses too. Because every time you're moving this over, little tiny pieces of metal are coming off of it. So as you get closer here, you're going to see how much, because remember, your pickup is a big magnet. So all that metal is going to get attracted there, and then you got to find a way to clean your pickup off. It's not difficult to do, it just, it's something to be aware of. Alright, we are back. The frets have been polished. They feel good. They feel nice and smooth. So now, I'm just going to do a little bit of this fretboard conditioner. First time using this stuff, so we'll see how it works out. Be careful about the stuff you use for this. There's stuff that's good and stuff that is not. You don't want to use, regardless of what Google says, you don't want to use stuff that has like citrus oils in it. At least I don't recommend that. I'm not saying it's gonna hurt your guitar or anything, but I wouldn't. Especially some of that stuff gets real sticky, so you get it on your nice fresh polished fret, and you just undid all the work you just did. Alright, so now the fretboard looks good. We're gonna let that dry for a bit. As far as what I'm just using a shop towel. That's what I recommend. That way when it's bad, you just throw it out. You don't have to worry about, you put it in the laundry or something, it stains clothes or something like that. So just keep it simple. Get some shop towels. You can get them at pretty much any home goods store, Home Depot, Lowe's. You can get them at Harbor Freight, I think, even AutoZone, Napa, any of those places. None of those places are paying me either, by the way. All right. So now we got a nice clean fretboard, and we got polished fret wire. So now all that's left to do is we're going to come back in and do the finish doing that neck pickup, and then at least we're ready at that point. We'll polish up the guitar, make it look nice and pretty, and then we'll put it all back together. All right.